All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Wednesday, January 21st. We're going to look at a nice little slate of games here in the NBA, NHL, and college basketball and the grind here in late January. Nice little card to manage here on a Wednesday. And also, how'd you do on Tuesday night with the sports betting card here? NBA, NHL. We did have some winners here on the Night Move show last night, so thank you for joining me again here. We'll try to bring you home some more winners. We scored last night here with several games in the NBA, including the under in the San Antonio and Houston game. We did have the Bulls there over the Clippers. They rocked LA last night. We also had a winner here with the Utah Jazz as they beat Minnesota at home there yesterday. So some of the winners on Night Moves here also brought home some winners on the ice as well here yesterday, including the under in the Ottawa and Columbus game. We also had a winner here yesterday with those Buffalo Sabres. Man, how about Buffalo here right now, continuing to get it done? They rocked Nashville on the road. And we should have another nice card tonight. College basketball yesterday, looking at some of the results, more upsets there yesterday. And how about my UNLV running Rebels over Utah State? Man, Utah State putting themselves in a little bit of a hole here right now in a game that I think they're supposed to win. They're favored by nearly 17 points, and UNLV gets the win on the road. The Aggies led the game by 14. UNLV is off to a 5-2 start in the Mountain West, so you got to give them credit. I mean, Gibbs Lawhorn, pretty good point guard for the Rebels. So it's first time in 10 years that the Rebs have won at Utah State. So I think you got to give the up arrow to the Rebels here as they're starting to find their way. UCLA upset Purdue. When you've won as many national championships, I don't care if they were in 1972, don't need to storm the court, UCLA, okay? But they did win. They beat Purdue, snapped their 9-game winning streak, snapped the Boilers' 9-game winning streak. And all right, they were number 4 in the country. So, the UCLA Bruins are acting like they've never been there before. And, hey, quite frankly, none of these kids ever have. So good on you, UCLA. Great job there yesterday. Georgia over Missouri. The Dogs scored that game winner there with 5.5 seconds left. Not a great offensive performance for sure for Georgia in that game. Missouri, they were once 8-0. They're 5-6 since then. How about the most exciting team in the country, the most thrilling team in the country? The Miami, Ohio Redhawks over Kent, another overtime game in the hundreds. They're 20-0, first team to reach 20 wins this season. They've scored 87 points in each of their last 5 games. And, of course, like I said, another overtime game with the score in the hundreds. They are really good from the inside against these similar teams. They're almost unstoppable. They could improve their free throw shooting, but when you keep winning clutch games like Miami O right now, got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they're taking on the other best teams in the MAC, and doing it on the road in overtime, whatever it takes when you have a winning attitude that stands out. NC State win over Clemson. We did have the under in that one last night when we previewed it here, but it did go to overtime there with NC State winning 80-76. Snap Clemson's 9-game winning streak as the Wolfpack. They led early. Clemson came all the way back, and NC State ends up getting the win in overtime in the Will Wade special there. Seton Hall covers against St. John's last night. St. John's gets a win 65-62. Seton Hall led that game by 15 points on the road against the Hot Johnnies, but Johnnies come back to win for their 5th straight. They're 7-1 in the Big East and out west. Also, it was Michigan State over Oregon 68-52 as Oregon led that game by 3 with 14 minutes or so to go. And Michigan State absolutely dominated, and they were a killer inside the paint there pretty much as well. 5th straight loss for Oregon. We know they've had a lot of injuries there this year, and Michigan State was able to get that win. Want to thank everyone for joining me here. We got a couple dozen of you here right now. Looks like close to it anyway, so we could kind of get going with the show and see what you guys want to do here with some of our games. It's just Andre and me in the chat. I'm flying solo here tonight, but I have Andre here maybe giving me a few comments along the way as we preview tomorrow's card here on Night Moves. Also, Champions League action yesterday. Man, I whipped on a couple of games here on the site, but let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com before we get started with the previews. We're a little slow rolling in here today, so maybe we can check out who was hot over at Tony'sPicks.com yesterday. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. And then you can get signed up with our best bets over at Tony's Picks. These are where you'll find my best bets every day. You know, you see me on some other shows and some other channels, but just know that my absolute best plays are right here every day over at Tony's Picks. My best picks anyway. Check out who was hot yesterday. You got David Racy up there, a nine ball there yesterday. Even I could figure out 91% there for David there. Great job. You got Nick and Damian there with the 3-0 days, perfect record. Bittler 4-1 up there. Tony T 3-1 yesterday. Solo with 6 winners. Jorge wins his only play, and a couple of winners for Ronnie Hahn, Joey Tron, and KT Kevin Thomas in there. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click out the All Cappers tab. That's where you can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. You could also check out the upcoming tab on the left side, and there you'll see the latest matchups from the handicappers. You can scroll down, and they're in chronological order, so you can get the plays a la carte. If you're in a hurry, you need a play, you didn't have time to handicap a particular game, come on over to Tony's Picks and check out our best bets here. These are the ones you want to go big on over at Tony'sPicks.com. So check us out and use that promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Wednesday in the NBA, NHL. Yeah, some soccer as well, and tennis action also over at Tony's Picks. We're underway in the Australian Open. In fact, we're in the second round of the Australian Open over there. So some great action from down under. Mostly excited to see the American Jovic, see how she can do. Young, hot, upcoming talent right now. And we did see also the young Canadian star Mboko with a win yesterday. So action continuing down under here on Wednesday. And I'll look to maybe get some picks in there on the tennis scene. All right. Now we can say hello to, I think, to the folks coming in the chat and get the show started here tonight with our card here in the NBA. And let's see who is joining me here tonight. Just saw in there Andre, but also Cal Dog is here. Want to say hello to Ramel Davis in the chat. Let's go, Ramel. Nice to see you today as well. So, and there's Greg's winners as well. Mr. Westers says, Mr. Westers, interesting you mentioned that, Mr. Westers. I may be late to the party, but I have added to my gold and silver position within the last 24 hours. Got to be honest here. Right now, I think it's going to be a much bigger, much better day for the markets on Wednesday. All right. Appreciate that. No doubt about it. All right. Let's take a look here at the card and get you ready for the action here on Wednesday. You start off, of course, in the NBA and take a look at hey man, these are nice balanced cards that you can really sink your teeth into. Nice, doesn't have to be too many, not too few. 6 games in the NHL, 7 in the NBA. I've picked out 7 college games to look at here. Talk about a balanced diet, if you will. All right, let's go to the NBA here on Wednesday and kick it off and head on down to Charlotte, North Carolina with the Cleveland Cavaliers here on the road taking on the Charlotte Hornets. And the Hornets they're playing a little bit better here of late. They've had a couple of wins here. They're coming off of a win over Denver. Remember, they woke up the echoes a little bit by clobbering the Nuggets the other night. 110 to 87. So things are looking okay here of late for Charlotte. Done a nice job here winning a few games. 3 of their last 5, basically. Cleveland comes in here just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games coming in. They're actually coming in off of a loss to OKC. They got clobbered there the other night, 136 to 104 to snap their 2-game winning streak. They knocked off the Sixers in a duplex game at Philly, but we still know that Charlotte, pretty good cover team, man. I mean, if you look at this Charlotte squad for a team that's basically 12-23 against the spread as an underdog, they're 21-14. Straight up, 12-23 straight up as a dog. They're 21-14 against the spread as a dog. So usually they're getting enough points, and the opposite has been true for Cleveland most of the season. They're 20-14 as a favorite, but 10-24 against the spread as a favorite. I mean, this is one of the more peculiar record. Cleveland just, favored by too many usually, and you got a Hornets team that knows how to cover right now. They have lost 4 of their last 5 at home, but they've covered 11 of their last 14 games overall coming in. Now, Cleveland has covered 5 of the last 6 meetings over the Charlotte Hornets. In fact, the 2 teams met twice back in December. The Hornets actually won at Cleveland 119 to 111 as an 11.5 point underdog. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they did win at home 139 to 132, but the Hornets got the money in that one as well. So although Cleveland's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2 teams, Charlotte's actually covered 4 of the last 5 meetings overall between the 2 teams. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Charlotte's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Cleveland's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. But in general, Charlotte 14-21 to the under as a dog, 7-12 to the under at home. So I'm just going to stick with the Hornets here. Maybe even pull off an upset here, maybe a little money line in this one. I'm going to take Charlotte here. They're the better cover team for sure. Maybe you would prefer that they were getting a few more. I think odds makers know that this is the way it's been going, so they're not going to give you more than a bucket here, it looks like, with the Hornets. But I've got to try the Hornets here in this one. Hey, everyone's welcome to comment in the chat. I love to share everyone's picks on screen. You can be famous on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut. And I love to show the plays from the chat, and you can get on record with your plays. So it's not just about me here on Night Moves. I'm flying solo here tonight, but I've got you guys in the chat, and here we go with some of their plays right now. We've got Andre here with the Cavs, and the over. Mr. Weskers ain't laying anything with these Cabs. How about Spider over in his points for Andre? And we got the Gibson ratings here tonight. He says after that Thunder game, take Cleveland here plus the points. He likes them to win outright of the ratings there. Good call there. Cal Dog here looks like maybe that's a lean to the Cabs. Oh, nope. He's on the Hornets here, it looks like. All right, got it. Next up, the Indiana Pacers are on the road, taking on the Boston Celtics here on Wednesday night. You got Boston here, double-digit favorite in this one. So Pacers in town here coming in. They've lost 2 in a row right now. Celtics have won 2 of 3, but they are coming off of a loss to Detroit. They did cover the spread in that game. They've actually covered 3 straight, have the Celtics. Lost to Detroit 104-103 as a 2.5 point dog. So they were actually able to get the money in that game for Indiana. Meanwhile, a couple losses here on the road to Detroit and to Philly. Not easy, certainly, but nonetheless, Indiana here, a little bit of struggles right now. They did beat New Orleans back there a couple of games back, so they picked up a few wins here of late. We know it's been kind of a disaster. Ben Mathurin is out of this game for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is probable here. Is listed with a hamstring tightness, I guess, but it looks like he'll be good to go in this one. Boston, pretty solid spread team, 24-18, although just 9-10 ATS at home, laying a pretty big number here. Indiana actually a little bit over 500, just 19-18 ATS as a dog, but 8-12 ATS on the road. So still get double-digit points isn't enough. Indiana's always been a pretty decent cover here of late against Boston. They've covered 9 of the last 12 meetings despite losing 8 of the last 11. So usually they're getting enough points. They weren't getting as many, obviously, in the last year or two that the trend covers, but they're getting more now, that's for sure. This is a meeting here just for the already. I think they've already fulfilled their schedule here with this 4th game right now. In fact, the Celtics here won the first 2, although they split covering the spread. Then Indiana did win 98-96 at home just a week or so, 9 days ago, as a 5-point dog, and they were able to get the win at home. So the Pacers have actually covered 2 of the 3 games between the 2 teams this season. They covered against Boston back in December in a 103-95 loss here at Boston. They were getting 11.5 in that one. So for Boston here, just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games at home. They've won 11 of their last 16 coming into this one. These 2 teams are pretty hardcore unders, that's for sure. 36-52 combined to the under. In fact, Indiana 6-14 to the under on the road. They've actually gone under in 7 of their last 8. Boston's gone under in 4 of their last 5. But I will say 9 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. But still, when you think of these 2 right now, it's got to feel like under, especially when the last game between the 2 featured just 194 points. And 2 of the 3 meetings this year did go under. So we can hear from you, and then I'll make my call here in this one between the Pacers and the Celts here tonight in Boston. All right, here we go, and it's going to be Andre is going to start off. He likes the Pacers plus the points here. Cal Dog says too many points for the Celtics to lay. Andre also likes the under here. The Gibson ratings have Boston here to crush tonight. He likes them to cover big time there. Maybe slight under. And Mr. Wesker says that the Celtics will take out their frustrations a little bit of that Detroit ending there and beat up on the Pacers here in this one. Teflon to Don is here. Good to see Don in the chat. He likes the over in this game. Yeah, these two teams, when they bet, uh, plenty of overs in the past. Like I said, 9 of the last 12 over, 2 of the last 3 under. So in general, these two teams over time have been going over a little short term there on the under here. Greg says, let's see. He's got Huff over on his points there. Oh, that's Andre. Yeah, there you go. All right. Appreciate it, gang. Oh, I'll take the under. You know I'm on the under in this one with the Pacers and the Celtics. I think I'd rather stay with the current with the general form of these two teams right now. Like I said, pretty solid under teams so far this season. Greg says Boston's pretty good when coming off of a loss. The Brooklyn Nets are going to take on the struggling New York Knicks. Brooklyn comes in here. They're not doing too hot either, having lost a couple of games in a row and hasn't been a great season. We know that for Brooklyn here, just 12-29 right now. The Knicks are 25-18, but definitely having some woes here against the spread. Remember when they were beating up on teams at home? Well, they're favored by 11 here in this one, and they've covered just one of their last 7 games at home, and they're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games overall. They've actually dropped 5 of the last 6 games. Like I said, they're on a 4-game losing streak to Sacramento, Golden State, Phoenix, and Dallas. They really haven't been close in those games right now. So Knicks having some woes. We know that they've had some their quality guards in and out. This is relatively healthy time for the Knicks, so they don't even show anybody on the injury report here overnight. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, Sharp is questionable here. Cam Thomas questionable. Devin probable here. Thomas probable here in this one. I should reiterate. So still got the Knicks here favored by 11 right now against this Brooklyn team. Brooklyn's not a great cover either, but right now the Knicks are having trouble winning, not much less covering a spread here right now. It's still 15-8 against the spread at home this year. I mean, we know that's where they've at least been strong when they were going. Brooklyn hasn't beaten the Knicks in a couple of years here right now. That's for sure. It's up to 10 straight meetings right now. The Knicks have been able to beat Brooklyn. Not only that, we were talking about all these bad teams. They lose, but they cover. Brooklyn 3-8-1 against the Knicks. Not the best matchup for them here. They've also lost 7 of their last 8. So could be a situation where the take out the frustrations a little bit maybe here for the New York Knicks. But let's see what you have in this one. Brooklyn's gone under in 4 of their last 6. The Knicks have gone under in 4 of their last 6 games as well. And Brooklyn here, 17-22 to the under as a dog. The Knicks, remember, 13-10 to the over at home. And like I said, they're good covering at home. So maybe if they were to be able to get a cover here, that it could go over in this game if they're going to take out their frustrations a little bit on the Nets, just because the Nets are no good and they don't play the Knicks that well. So maybe the Knicks can find a team to take out some frustration on. The Brooklyn Nets did cover against Phoenix here in their last out, 126-117. They only covered by half a point, but they did get the money there. They also covered at home against the Bulls, although they got blasted by the Bulls the next night on the road, or 2 nights later, but it was a home and home there against the Bulls. So these two teams have met already twice this season. The Knicks won and covered them both. Wasn't easy, wasn't close. I mean, it was close in that last one, but they covered 12.5 at Brooklyn in a 13-point win, and they rolled at home 134-98 early November as a 10.5-point favorite in that one. So can the Knicks get going here maybe against the Brooklyn Nets? And let's see how you see this one here on Wednesday. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. Here we go with Mr. Westwood says when Brunson made that hit against the Spurs there, all of a sudden the Knicks have been kind of struggling. But again, yeah, you're right. But remember Brunson, Hart, they both have been in and out of the lineup there a little bit. Now we're kind of both back and healthy here. Sports fan says you can't trust the Knicks, but maybe they could take them out back. And let's see here. Andre says the Knicks can get their stuff together and win. Don't know if they cover. And we're looking forward to the All-Star break. We're not quite there yet, but we have reached the halfway point of the season for, I think, every team now. Maybe there's one or two that are just shy of it. Nets with the points for Cal Dog. The Gibson ratings here does have the Knicks to kind of roll here right now. And Mike Brown doesn't do much but do press conference, Mr. Wesker. All right, Greg says this looks like a good chance for more of a blowout here. He says it's a Knicks spot 100%. And he says it is Wednesday, and maybe the dogs will be barking here. All right, yep, I'm going to take the New York Knicks to blast here and crush the Brooklyn Nets on Wednesday. I'll lay it with the Knicks. The Detroit Pistons are going to be visiting the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday. The Pistons are nearly double-digit favorites here, 9.5 points. The total 232.5. It's another 3-game winning streak right now for these Detroit Pistons.
Final.
You gotta believe, man, 31-10. I mean, they're gonna be going for the home court advantage. This new Detroit team, just no let up right now. Now, we just talked about that Boston game, but they were clutch there in the end to get that win, 104-103, holding on against that Celtics team for Detroit here. They are a little bit of struggles against the spread, 15-18 as a favorite, and New Orleans 14-10 against the spread at home, 19-21 as a dog. Hard to believe they've been favored very often, but they have been. Here for New Orleans, they've lost 13 of their last 15 games. They failed to cover in 11 of those 15 games. Detroit here, meanwhile, 13-5 straight up on the road, 6-1 straight up in their last 7. Although 2-7 straight up in their last 9 trips to New Orleans, but New Orleans probably on the downswing from even some of those matchups. I mean, that is basically a 4-year sample size, but Detroit just has been that steady progression here over the last couple of seasons, really reaching their pinnacle here right now, and the Pelicans just can't seem to get it together at all. For New Orleans here, they've gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. Detroit's gone under in 8 straight games right now. And this series has gone under in 6 of the last 8 meetings. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams. Detroit just 6-11 ATS on the road, or 6-11 to the under on the road, and 14-19 to the under as a favorite. Pelicans do play to the over as a home dog, but let's see what you have here. The number at 233, I know these trends say under, but man, I might still think it could go over here with the way the Pelicans have been looking here at home. It's more so wanting to get into higher scoring games when they are a home dog, and I might have to think with a big spread like this one, I might prefer the over, actually, and I might need to buck the trends. Let's see what you got in the chat. With this one on Wednesday, Mr. Weskers does like those Pelicans to maybe get the money here, maybe just a little bit too much. And like I said, Pelicans, for as woeful as they've been, they have gotten the covers here a little bit. Pistons, for as good as they are, the bookmakers and the public kind of caught up to them a little bit. They're only 22-19 ATS overall. You'd have to think that really the Pelican home spread record is kind of predominant there a little bit. And, Detroit, though, playing so good. New Orleans comes in off of back to back losses here to Indiana and Houston. They did get the money at Houston, getting a 12 and a half, I think, in that game, 13 and a half, actually. Andre just going to take the Pistons on the money line here on the road, lay the $4. And Duran, a double-double for Andre and Zion to go over in his points. Also here, the Gibson ratings does have Detroit to smash in this one. And Cal Dog is going to go with the under here in this game. Also here, Detroit ain't playing with these guys. He likes them to roll. All right. I'm going to go with the over in this one. I do think, look, I think the Pelicans are going to get the money here, right? It more of a high scoring game. I kind of want to think that the Pelicans, as bad as they've been, home dog is still an okay role for them. And Detroit, they just are paying a little bit of tax here, it feels like, for their outstanding record overall. And they're not able to get some of these numbers on the road. At least you get a New Orleans team here. At home, nearly double digits here in this one. Herb Jones, questionable. Alvarado is out for New Orleans. Pistons are healthy here. Atlanta Hawks on the road, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Hey, this is a game that should have been played on MLK Day. Atlanta has lost 4 straight right now. Memphis comes in having won 2 of their last 3 games. Atlanta here, home losses to Milwaukee and Boston. Didn't really come close in those games. Also lost on the road to the Blazers and the Lakers here as part of this 4-game losing streak for Memphis. Meanwhile, a couple of wins here. They beat Orlando on the back end of a home and home the other night, 125-109, getting 2.5 at home. They also beat Brooklyn here, so they've won 2 of 3. But Atlanta, as a home dog, this is kind of their role. They're 14-11 ATS on the road, 14-10 ATS as a dog. Memphis a pretty good favorite though, 10-6 ATS as a favorite. Atlanta here has went just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games overall. Memphis has covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. In fact, the teams met back in October, and it was Atlanta taking the 122-118 victory. For Memphis here, they've gone just 3-7 straight up and against the spread their last 10 games overall. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and 6 of the last 9 meetings in Memphis have gone over here as well. But I think this number is a little bit high. I'm going to try to think that Atlanta here, if they're going to be competitive in this game, and like I said, they are a slight underdog in this game, but I think it stays under actually at 237, and that's where I'm going to head here. Give me another under in this one with Atlanta and Memphis here on Wednesday night. It did go over in that first meeting, but I'm going to try the under here in this one on Wednesday night. Let's see what you guys have. Anything here in the chat with this one, with the Hawks taking on the Grizzlies? Mr. Wesker says, when's the last time Atlanta even won a game, right? Man, it's been a couple of weeks here. A little bit. Cal Dog is on the Grizzlies. Want to say hello in the chat to Jacob Zakai today. He says the Grizzlies played in Germany last week, right? Yeah, they played in Germany, and then they played in London as well. They played in Berlin and London in a span of 4 days there last week. And the Gibson ratings here says Memphis, they're right on the number pretty much. Memphis, a win on a buzzer beater, says Greg. All right, I'll take the under in that one. The Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Bucks here. NBA action for Wednesday. Hey, look, it's not a great card. This is probably the featured matchup, I think, here on this Wednesday card. I tried to sell it, but Oklahoma State here coming in off of a win. They did lose to Miami there on the road, but they bounced back with a win at Cleveland. This is their fourth straight road game here. They've won 2 of 3 so far on the road. They're in a pretty good groove right now, of course. Won 6 of their last 7, although just 3 and 6 ATS in their last 9, laying some points. Bucks have won 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Milwaukee, however, just 2 and 4 straight up in the last 6 games, and 3 and 6 ATS in their last 6 games overall. They're coming in off of a win at Atlanta, 112 to 110. They were actually a 1.5 point dog that snapped their 3-game losing streak to Denver, Minnesota, and San Antonio. Not easy opponents, but Milwaukee just really has still not been able to kind of get it together. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and also Milwaukee's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. They're 9 and 14 to the under as a dog. For the Bucks here, they are 12 and 11 ATS as a dog, but just 8 and 11 against the spread at home. So still got to lay it here, lay some lumber here with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat. OKC's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games coming into this one. Let's hear from you in the chat. 9.5 on the road, and we saw guard Jalen Williams. He is out, 17 points per game scorer, great assist man too, running that show for Oklahoma City. And forward Jalen Williams is questionable here. Hartenstein still out. Caruso, he's out as well for the Bucks. Kevin Porter Jr. questionable, Miles Turner questionable, so they could be without a couple of players, but it does seem like a little bit bigger impact here on the Thunder in this game in the injury department. Let's hear from you in the chat in this one, and it's going to be Doc Rivers can't cheer his way out of this one, says Mr. Westers, but he'll take the Bucks, of course, here, plus the points. Yeah, Thunder just feels like they're a little bit banged up here. Milwaukee here, but with Williams here, guard Jalen Williams. They're both Williams. We know we've been dealing with that for years, but all right. Cal Dog says take the Thunder and buy it down here to 8 points. The Gibson ratings has the Thunder to roll here. And Mr. Wesker says the Bucks are just offensive trash cans, but nonetheless, might have to take them here. And Andre on the Thunder as well. I agree. I'm going to take the Bucks here in this one with those points. These are definitely, the Thunder. They're obviously not going to set the records here. And like I said, they're tasting defeat a little bit here of late. Not like I said, they lost to Miami a couple of nights ago, but did bounce back against Cleveland and did blast Cleveland. But I'm going to try the Bucks here at home in this one. And we'll wrap it up in Sacramento with the Raptors. Here's a road favorite taking on the Kings. Well, we got all hyped up with the Kings' winning streak there, but now they're back to normal. Back-to-back losses at home against Portland and Miami. And they are on the back-to-back following a 130 to 117 loss last night to Miami. Toronto, meanwhile, also on the back-to-back. They're coming in here off of the road win over Golden State last night, 145-127. The Warriors kind of mailed that one in, giving up 75 points in the second half. They actually trailed big, remember, at halftime. They were down 16. Kind of came back there a little bit. I think they even got it to within single digits there for a moment, but it was Toronto with the big road win over Golden State there last night. So good job by Toronto. Sacramento comes in here having lost 14 of their last 20 games overall. They are just 15-25 ATS as an underdog, but Toronto's a terrible favorite. 9-16 ATS, although Toronto 12-10 against the spread on the road. Toronto's won 11 of the last 16 meetings over the Kings. There, that's 8 years sample size, but Toronto just 2-4 against the spread the last 6 meetings against the Kings. The Kings have actually covered 4 of their last 6 games overall, and 5 of their last 7 games at home they've covered. 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone over. However, right now, these two teams are pretty hardcore unders. Toronto's gone under in 13 of their last 20. Sacramento's gone under in 10 of their last Toronto's gone under in 13 of their last 20 and 10 of their last 13 on the road. Sacramento's gone under in 23 of 40 games as an underdog here. So I'm going to have to take the under in this one of the Raptors and the Kings here on Wednesday night. Few plays from the chat here in this one. Hey, I don't make the schedule. We just cap it, right? Not a great card on Wednesday night in the NBA. I'll admit it here. Cal Dog says Raptors in this one, and maybe take it down 3 points there. Andre says Raptors on the money line. The Gibson ratings, I think, favors the Kings, actually, and maybe the over. Barnes for a double-double, says Andre. And let's see here. And Mr. Westwood says Toronto won't be playing with some guy named Guido like the Warriors had out there tonight. I think that's what he's trying to say there. And just a bonus for a double-double. Keegan Murray still out of this lineup for the Kings here for a couple of weeks right now. Jacoby Walters questionable for Toronto. RJ Barrett questionable. And Murray Boyles is questionable as well. And let's see here. And Raptors 145 points in that game tonight there against the lifeless Warriors there. So, all right, I'll take the under though here in this one. Maybe the Raptors, if they put 145 up against the Warriors, right? You're saying, what are they going to do against this team? All right. Well, I guess that's it for the NBA. Thank goodness. And let's go to the action in college basketball tonight, huh? We got a card here we can look at. Maybe a little better than the NBA card. Let's take a look and see what we have here with our big games of the night in college basketball. And I want to hear from you in the chat with our card. Let's see what we got here. And we'll start it off on Wednesday with some SEC action here. The Texas Longhorns are on the road taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. And Kentucky here favored by 7, maybe 7.5. Total 154, 154.5 or so. UK's won 3 straight all of a sudden. Finally picking it up here a little bit, and it wasn't easy, but they did edge Tennessee on the road, 80-78. They knocked off LSU by 1 point, did not cover. They did blast Mississippi State at home, 92-68, but It's a three-game winning streak, at least here for Kentucky right now. Meanwhile, for the Texas Longhorns, they are coming in off of a home loss to Texas A&M, 74-70. They were favored in that game by 4.5 points, but ended up losing in that one. Before that, they had back-to-back wins and covers against Alabama and Vanderbilt. So, Texas has been up and down, but they are 4-2 against the spread as an underdog. UK just 2-4 against the spread as a favorite. Both teams just 2-4 ATS in their last 6 games. Kentucky has won 7 of their last 9 overall coming in, and they are 9-2 straight up at home this season. Kentucky just not great covering in conference play so far right now, despite coming back here with a few wins of late. But let's see how you have this one with Texas and Kentucky here on Wednesday night. Take a look at the SEC standings here currently, and Texas right now just 2-3. At least Kentucky here 3-2, within striking distance still. Florida's 5-1. A&M is 4-1 right now. So let's go to maybe the chat here and see what you have with these two. Texas has been a big time over here so far since joining the SEC. They are 15-3 to the over in their last 18 conference games overall. They are 11-7 to the over so far this season, but Kentucky 1-5 to the under as a favorite here. So, yeah, you definitely have some things to consider, but let's go to the chat and see what you've got in this matchup. I want to hear from you. All right. Go to the chat right now with this one, and we've got Mr. Wesker's not his favorite team in the world, but he's going to lay it with Kentucky. Says the public loves Texas. Andres on Texas and the points. He also likes the over. The Gibson ratings here takes Kentucky, maybe slightly into the over. Cal Dogs on Texas here. Greg says Kentucky just keeps coming back when being down. You just can't trust them to cover, that they just get the win. Jacob here says take Texas and the over. All right, gang. Appreciate your comments here, and I'm going to take my stab at this one between the Longhorns and the Wildcats here. And yeah, I'll try Texas here to get these points. Kentucky not quite showing a penchant for getting this money. Nice little winning streak here. And maybe I'm a little public-y in this one, taking these Longhorns right now. And look, I'm a maybe more of a Kentucky guy than a Texas guy when it comes to hoops. Of course, who wouldn't be? But I'm going to go ahead and try the points here on the road with the horns. We got to do the hook 'em horns here. All right. Memphis Grizzlies going to take Memphis Tigers going to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane here. College basketball action for Wednesday night with Tulsa at home here, favored by 5. That shows you how things have changed here. We've had some issues here with Memphis so far. I don't think we're getting our usual Memphis team currently right now. They're just 9-8 here. Currently, it's Tulsa that's 15-3, but they have tasted defeat here of late, winning they've won 2 straight after a couple of losses. They lost to North Texas and South Florida, but they did bounce back with a couple of impressive wins over Charlotte and UAB. For Memphis here, they've won 2 in a row over Temple and UTSA. Actually covered 20.5 against the Roadrunners last time out. It's also snapped a streak of non-covers for Memphis. Tulsa's 6-2 against the spread at home. Memphis is 5-3 ATS as an underdog. I mean, traditionally, we know that Memphis would be a team that you look at here, but just hasn't really worked out that way right now with Memphis having some woes here a little bit. And Tulsa, got to give them maybe more so. Give the credit to Tulsa, the way they've been going here right now. This one's at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific here in this one with Tulsa at home. Taking a look at the standings right now in the American, it is Memphis here still 4-1, so don't be too critical of them. They've been able to only loss so far in conference play was to first place Florida Atlantic, so that was the big game of the season. Back about 10 or 11 days ago, and FAU did get that key win for Tulsa here. They're 3-2, so an important game for them as well here. Let me see what you guys have in the chat. Tulsa's been the team. I mean, if you kind of rely on a little bit more tradition, you might come in here with Memphis. Let's see what you got. I kind of still want to take the Tigers, actually, but let me hear from you, and then I'll decide. All right, here we go in the chat with your picks. And it's going to be Tulsa against the spread for Mr. Weskers. The Gibson ratings here looks like they favor Memphis here. He's got Tulsa to win, and maybe the lean is on the under. Greg says Hardaway's better at home. Mr. Wesker says Memphis, another public darling. That's no good. And Cal Dog here likes Tulsa in this one. All right, Memphis comes in here. I think the one thing to consider with the Memphis Tigers is, even though you think of them, they're 0-9-1 in the last 10 meetings with Tulsa, believe it or not. Tulsa's covered 10 of their last 14. They've won 12 of their last 14 overall. Memphis, yes, 5-1 straight up here, but just 1-4 against the spread. So look, usually for Memphis, they're not a great favorite. Maybe they're a little bit, like I said, a little bit better of an underdog here. But man, they just struggle against this Tulsa team. I mean, that has to stand out. In fact, the two teams met here last year or last season at Memphis. Memphis did win, but did not cover. They won by 12 as a 16-point favorite. So the spread's a little low from Tulsa might have their number. Greg says, Jacob says Tulsa's been good. He's not sure here. And, I kind of want to take these points. Like Memphis can give them a battle, but Tulsa just owns these guys. I got to take the Tulsa Golden Hurricane here to get a blowout win in this one. And, well, let's just at least call it a comfortable win here. I'll lay it with Tulsa. Big 12 action now with West Virginia coming in here, taking on Arizona State Sun Devils in Tempe. For West Virginia here, they come in winners of 3 of their last 4 games overall. West Virginia off of a win versus Colorado. They covered at home, 72-61. They also have wins here over KU and Cincinnati. West Virginia 10-8 ATS this season. ASU's 10-8 ATS, 7-5 ATS at home, but they've actually dropped 2 straight to Arizona, but they did cover. They also got blasted last out at Houston. These two teams met last season. ASU won at West Virginia 65-57 as a 6.5-point underdog in that game. ASU was able to knock them off in that contest. For West Virginia here, they have a good season here so far with that 12-6 record. They've gone under in 5 of their last 6 and under in 4 of their last 5 on the road. They've been a consistent under in Big 12 games. You look currently here at the standings in the Big 12, and you have West Virginia right now at 3-2. ASU, meanwhile, just 1-4 though so far here, but still they've earned favoritism by 2 points here coming into this game on Wednesday night. Arizona State has, however, lost 6 of their last 7 overall and gone just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7, and they've struggled at home in the last 2 seasons, really 4-12 ATS at home in their last 16. Arizona State has gone over in 8 straight games, so definitely a contrast here. But West Virginia does go, even though they've been known as an under, they actually go over here in a couple of games as a road underdog. Remember, Arizona State here, they're still a favorite despite some of these negative trends overall. So let's hear from you, though, in the chat in this matchup. Let's see what you guys have here. And we've got the Gibson ratings here says West Virginia to win outright. Here, the 2-point dog. Gibson has them to win by 3. And Mr. Wesker says they've got another crummy team there. And Greg says, you see West Virginia beating Pittsburgh. Did you see West Virginia beat? Is that what that says? West Virginia beat Pittsburgh. Do you see him beating Pittsburgh? Oh, okay, I see. I see what he's saying there with that. That was way right. Let's see here. Greg will stick with West Virginia and the under. Yeah, ASU's been going over in these games here right now, but last year's game between these two teams was a low score. Here, I think ASU still can beat this team despite some of the struggles here that they're having right now, and I'm going to try Arizona State here at home -2 against the Mountaineers. All right, Mr. Weskers, here we go. Let's talk about some Big East ball here tonight with West Virginia on the road taking on the Qs here, and Syracuse, a home favorite right now by 3.5. Total 150. Syracuse coming into this, what did I say? ACC action. Sorry, I'm stuck in the old days here a little bit. Right now for Virginia Tech here, they running a little bit mediocre for sure in conference play with a 3-3 record overall, but they are 14-5 overall. Syracuse, meanwhile, 3-2 in conference play, 12-6 overall. They're laying 3.5 here. Syracuse had their 3-game winning streak snapped last time out with that loss against BC on the road, 81-73. They were a 6-point favorite actually in that one. Before that, they had consecutive wins against Georgia Tech, Pitt, and FSU. For Virginia Tech here, they are coming off of a home win and cover over Notre Dame. They'd also covered against SMU here, and they beat Cal recently, so they've been okay here of late. West Virginia 3-1 against the spread on the road, 5-2 against the spread as a dog. They're 11-5 against the spread overall. Are the Hokies coming in here? For Syracuse, they are 9-2 straight up at home so far this season. Let's see what you guys want and do in the chat in this one between the Hokies and the Orange here tonight. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Get your plays ready here in this one in ACC action here at Syracuse. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. These two teams did meet just one time last season. It was at Virginia Tech, a 101-95 victory in overtime for the Hokies last season. They were favored in that one by 3.5, ended up getting the money Go to the chat here with this one. All right, and we're just going to see here. Here we go. Mr. Weskers like Syracuse on the money line. Not sure they can get the money there. The Gibson ratings thinks that Syracuse can do it. Maybe a lean to the under. And Greg says Syracuse. Let's see, Syracuse gonna do like the Tennessee game. Hey, want to say hello to Henrique in the chat. Hope I got that right there. Thank you, Henrique. Could be Heinrich, but probably Henrique. Henrique, thank you. Nice to see you in the chat. Really appreciate you being here with me. We got over 40 of you here joining me in the chat right now on Night Moves. Greg's got Anthony to go off for 25 points, and Cal Dog says Syracuse at home. I'm gonna take the over in this one. Give me over 150 with Virginia Tech and Syracuse. All right, let's come out west. We went from Mr. Wesker's team to my team here with San Diego State. On the road, they got some bad news here. Magoon Guath, best player on the team, but hey, once you're injury prone, you're always injury prone, and Guath is going to miss this one and maybe a little bit longer. I mean, he's he's an NBA prospect. He's probably the tools-wise, the best player on the team. I don't know if he's overall the best player on the Aztecs, but he's expected to miss this game tonight at Grand Canyon. Not great because we know the Havocs will be restless here right now with Grand Canyon. They already beat Utah State at home, and now they're getting San Diego State in here. Look out for this sleeper. If Grand Canyon comes in here and wins the Mountain West right now, here, I'm laughing. I should be very concerned, but Grand Canyon actually 4-2 right now. San Diego State is 7-0. They're actually San Diego State on a roll here in conference play so far. Now they're a game and a half ahead of Utah State, but we know how difficult actually it is to go in to Phoenix and play this Grand Canyon team, man. They are very, very difficult. This one's on Fox Sports 1, so it's going to be a pretty good game, and the Havocs are going to be wild here for this one. Grand Canyon actually beat San Diego State last time they met back in 2023, first conference meeting between the two, but Grand Canyon did beat San Diego State here in the last two times that they met. One was about 7 years ago, but 2 years ago they did beat the Aztecs 76-73 here at home. San Diego State is 3-1 against the spread on the road, but just 1-3. Let's see, or not. Sorry about that. 3-1 ATS in their last 4 games overall. So for Grand Canyon here, they're just 5-7 ATS at home. They often are caught giving a few too many points to some teams, but this is about as tough as it's going to get for them right now against first place and undefeated San Diego State in this one. Aztecs, like I said, coming in here 7-0. Let's see if you guys have anything in the chat. I'm worried. I mean, without Guath, look, they played without him before, but still going to be a tough game. He is their best player. Grand Canyon is so tough at home. I have my worries here in this one. Okay, here we go. Mr. Westers like the Aztecs here. The Gibson ratings like San Diego State. Cal Dogs on San Diego State. All right. I'm taking Grand Canyon. I have, look, San Diego State usually will have a hiccup in conference play, even when they are, usually the last couple of years playing from behind a little bit, but right now, large and in charge. But can they go to 8-0? I'm not hedging here. I'm still just going to take Grand Canyon just because I think they're a very, very difficult team to beat in their home court. They've already beaten Utah State here right now. So I'm going to go ahead. I mean, they still got Jaden Henley, a great leader out there for uh, Grand Canyon. San Diego State without Guat, they'll have to rely on their depth for sure if they're going to win this one. I'm going to take Grand Canyon with Guat out of the lineup for the Aztecs. And one more out west here with Northwestern taking on USC. Man, the Purple Cats here, a little bit of a slumpy slump for sure. They are on a losing streak. Meanwhile, USC, they've tasted here a pretty good run, won 2 of their last 3. They were able to cover against Purdue in that game the other night. We saw Purdue lose tonight to UCLA, but for Northwestern here, the losing streak coming in 5 in a row right now, and just 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 overall. USC's won here 7 of 9 at home this season. They're 12-1 straight up as a favorite. USC is 8-5 to the over as a favorite, but Northwestern is 2-4 to the under as a dog. Northwestern 8-10 straight up, but 5-13 against the spread so far. 2-5 ATS on the road. They've lost 13 of their last 16 road games dating back to last season. Tough to come out west here right now when you're not playing very well and go up against a USC team that, they did beat Maryland at home. They also won at Minnesota here recently. They did get blown out in that trip to Michigan and Michigan State, but I got to take USC here to keep it rolling right now and crush Northwestern tonight. Give me the Trojans here to win at home, and I'll lay the 5 points. See what you guys have in the chat, and that's it for my college basketball coverage here tonight on Night Moves. Let's see here what we've got, and it's going to be Mr. Weskers likes USC here, it looks like. Cal Dog on USC. The Gibson ratings likes New Orleans here. Jacobs on USC here. And Greg says USC doesn't cover a lot in his mind. Yeah, they are 6-4 ATS at home at least right now. But yeah, they're pretty much just a 50-50 proposition ATS. But note Northwestern here, really bad spread numbers so far as an underachiever. 5-13 overall, 3-7 ATS in their last 10, 1-5 ATS in their last 6, 2-4 ATS as a dog. I'm going to take the Trojans in this one. Hey, we've got a nice hockey card tonight. We've got 6 games on the ice here, so get into it and wrap up our action here for Wednesday and watch some tennis here from Australia right now, and just seeing some action here just going final. So having a nice night here, ready and talking with you guys here on Night Moves. All right, let's get into it right now. Yeah, it was Bublik. Looks like he just won in straight sets over Fuchsovich. All right. Let's get into the hockey card right now. And start it off here with classic matchup here between the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs. NHL action here for Wednesday night. Got the Leafs here, $1.20, 6/20. Feels like a really good matchup here right now with the Red Wings coming in here on a 2-game winning streak. They're 30, 16-4 right now coming in, playing pretty well. Toronto, meanwhile, coming in off of a loss. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Detroit with wins over San Jose and Ottawa here. Toronto, meanwhile, coming in off of a home loss to Minnesota, 6-3 right now for Detroit here. Been in a pretty good groove here on the road, 12-8 on the road, and 14-11 as an underdog. Toronto 16-6, however, at home. These two teams did meet so far. They met back in December. It was 3-2. Detroit got the win in that one. Also, Detroit won in October. Detroit let's face it. I mean, Detroit owns Toronto right now. They would have to, uh, dare I say, turn it around with the Leafs here in order to win this one. Detroit actually here has won 8 of the last 4 meetings between the two teams. Toronto has won 10 of the last 15 meetings at home between the two, but Detroit's won 5 straight meetings overall here right now. And Detroit's won 6 of their last 7 overall. Only a loss at Boston, which Boston playing absolutely terrific here of late has kind of kept that interrupted a pretty good winning run here for Detroit. Toronto, though, they've won 7 of their last 8 at home coming in. Toronto's gone over in 5 straight here. Detroit's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games at home. Let's see what you guys think in the chat in this one with Detroit and Toronto. Wow, pretty good one here. Toronto is 16-11 to the over at home, and Detroit's 15-10 to the over as an underdog. I mentioned that because they're 25 over, 25 under. But when they're an underdog, it definitely goes a little bit over, and you have a Toronto team that does tend to go over at home. So I'm going to go ahead and go over. How's that? At 6 here. It is juiced here.
Final.
Looks like minus $1.20 or so right now, but I'm going to take the over, I think, as my play. There are even some 6.5 unders out there, but you can get 6 over 20, and I'm going to do that here on Night Moves. Let's see what you got here. I'm talking hockey here in the middle of the night here. 1:15 out west and 4:15 Eastern time. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. Tonight, let's see what you have in this one. Want to say hello to Joshua David Brown joining us from Canberra. Great to have Josh in the chat tonight. And look, he's joining us here for the hockey segment, or if he was here for the basketball segment. I tell you this, Josh, I just was watching a few minutes ago some action from down under. I just watched the game here between Brisbane and Melbourne, and then right now also we got New Zealand here, but Southeast Melbourne all over New Zealand, 59-44 in the second quarter. Man, Southeast Melbourne putting up a bunch of points in NBL action here. A little doubleheader tonight to keep us entertained. All right, and so I got you covered, Josh. All right, let's see here. And it's going to be the Cal Dog on the Red Wings. The Gibson ratings here says 3-2 Toronto. Oh, boy. He'll take the home team. And thanks, Josh. That's really great. Hey, look, maybe you love these American sports, and I gotta tell you, I love the Aussie sports. Probably because, hey, look, I'm doing night moves here in the middle of the night, so I'm watching Aussie sports all the time, man. I love, especially I love footy when it's in season, and love cricket as watching middle of the night cricket as well, and of course NBL basketball. All right. And let's see here. Also want to say hello in the chat too. This is going to be tough. Van Gray Malarkajan. Van Gray Malarkajan. I'm usually pretty good on names. I hope I got that one right. All right. Hey, in this one, I'm going to take the over. All right, man, we got a late night slate in the NHL. Great action out west tonight. Everything is almost out west. Here is the Ducks on the road taking on the Abs. Now the Ducks are hot again. A little bit inconsistent as maybe a young team is going to be Colorado. They've lost 2 of 3. Then they might want to just start breaking up this team and trying to trade fix this problem here. All right. I kid, but give the Ducks a lot of credit. And they might actually have a great chance in this game. This total, I have 6.5 over 20 there. It's actually even higher than that. Could we see a 7 here as a predominant line in this game between Anaheim and Colorado here tonight? Uh, for Anaheim here, they've come in here with this winning streak right now of 4 games. They have lost 5 in a row to Colorado, but uh, still a good run here for Anaheim. For Colorado, meanwhile, losses to Toronto and Nashville, but they did bounce back with a home win over Washington. Colorado, they're 20-1 at home, basically 20 or maybe I don't know, what they 18-1-2. I gotta look to see exactly what it is, but 21-3, okay, at home for Colorado. And yes, they have owned this series, but Anaheim's back to a winning streak right now. I mean, it's still you're looking at $3 here. I mean, we're going to take Anaheim on the puck line, especially the fact that you have a teams, semi-frequent teams. Man, Anaheim's doing a great job this season right now. Currently, look at the standings here in the Pacific. They're in third place, tied with at Los Angeles and San Jose in that jumbled pack in the middle of the Pacific Division here right now. But for me, I just would rather take this puck line. Anaheim playing very, very well. You are getting even money on the puck line, and I'm going to take them here. Give me Anaheim plus 1.5 here at Colorado on Wednesday night. And we'll hear from you in the chat in this one. Like I said, Anaheim, they've been through some streaks for sure on both ends, but they've had more winning streaks than losing streaks this season. And right now, consecutive wins here over Dallas, over the Kings twice, and they did beat the Rangers at home last time out. So maybe Colorado's feeling it just a little bit here. Colorado has won 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams here in Denver. So look, there's no doubt the Avalanche usually wins this game. They met the first meeting back in November. It was 4-1 Colorado with the win at home. Let's hear from you in the chat. But I'm still going to take them on the puck line here. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, Ray, that's great. That's a lot easier, but I do like trying to say someone's name. They always say nothing better to hear than your own name. I don't know about that. And thank you, Josh. Yeah, I enjoy watching all those great down under sports. So one thing about the Aussies, Josh, even more so, maybe because America's such a big country, not everyone is into sports, but we know, man, the Aussies love their sports, and that's what I really mostly appreciate about them. And he says, Ray says, which you watch cricket, which do you like the most? Out of the probably out of those Aussie sports, you mean, or not sure, but I like my favorite cricket to watch is probably Big Bash. Aussie Big Bash League, although I do love international play. I love West Indies is actually my favorite team, but we know those days are long gone. All right, let's see here. Ducks or puck line, says Cal Dog. Greg Gibson here on Colorado, but a high score, yeah. Look, I got the over. So what? Oh, I didn't finish that thought, but it says 6.5 over 20 right there on the screen. I probably could update it. It's mostly 6.5 over 25, even some 30s and 35s. Seems like we're destined for 7 goals. So why wouldn't this game be 4-3 here on Wednesday night? All right, let's keep it moving here right now. And we're out west with the Flyers on the road here, taking on the Mammoth. Got Utah here on a 3-game winning streak right now. Here, Philly is coming off a win also, but for Utah, wins here at home over Toronto, Dallas, and Seattle. Utah's been at home basically almost all month right now. They haven't hit the road here of late. They're $1.65 here over the Flyers. Flyers coming off that win over Vegas the other night, 2-1 on the road to start this trip. And Philly been decent on the road, 11-9, but 12-20 as an underdog. Utah, meanwhile, 19-13 as a favorite, 14-7 at home. Uh, Philly is 21-11 to the over as an underdog. Utah has been trending under here of late, but they still 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and 9 of the last 12 when Philly has played this franchise on the road, the former Coyotes here, but Philly's also gone over in 8 of their last 11 and over in their last 5 on the road, 5 of their last 6 on the road. I got to take the over in this one between the Flyers and the Mammoth. A few comments in the chat in this one. It's going to be Cal Dog is on the Mammoth here. And for sure, Josh. Actually, Josh, I'm in Las Vegas, and as you know, the NRL actually has opened the season here in the last 2 years with their games at the Alliant Stadium, the Allegiant Stadium, where they played the U.S. Super Bowl before, and I think they've opened the NRL season here in the last 2 years, actually. And let's see here. Greg says 4-2 Mammoth. He says the Flyers are falling off right now. And I think Mr. Weskers is saying he took Montreal, but I'm not sure what. Give me the over in this one.
Final.
Continuing on with our Western hockey swing here. Pittsburgh Penguins on the road, taking on the Calgary Flames. Penguins here, 23-14-11, just a slight favorite on the road against Calgary here. 21-23-5 for the Flames. Flames have won 2 of 3 actually coming in. Lost to New Jersey last time out, but wins over Chicago and the Islanders. Pittsburgh comes in here off of a road win at Seattle last time out. They are 12-7 on the road, are the Penguins. Calgary, meanwhile, though, good home team, 13-7 here. Pittsburgh has won 8 of their last 12 overall and 4 of their last 5 on the road. Calgary, they've won 10 of their last 14 at home, although they've dropped 6 of their last 9. Calgary's gone under in 5 of their last 7, but 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The two teams did play their first game of the season already, and it was Calgary winning in Pittsburgh 2-1 in that one. I think Pittsburgh returns the favor here. I'm going to actually take the Pens on the road here over Calgary. Calgary can be pretty tough at home, but I'm going to try Pittsburgh here tonight on the road. Pittsburgh's had some winning streaks here of late. Maybe they're still the better team. Right now, Pittsburgh really having trouble finding any true momentum here. They are in 3rd place here currently. Not an awful situation for them in the Metro right now. Calgary, meanwhile, next to last. They're not doing much here. Although they've been okay at home for sure. Like I said, they're just dismal on the road. I'm still going to take Pittsburgh here in this one. All right, let's see here. Greg said take the Flames in this one. Cal Dogs with me on the Penguins. Here are the Islanders on the road taking on the Kraken. NHL action here on Wednesday night. Kraken have lost 4 straight now. Talk about streaky teams. Here's another one of them. Seattle with consecutive losses here to New Jersey, Boston, Utah, and to Pittsburgh at home, although the first 3 were on the road. Still, Seattle having a rough go of it here all of a sudden of late. They've lost 6 of their last 7 overall, but they've beaten the uh, 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 Islanders in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the 2 teams. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the 2 teams have gone under, and Seattle's gone under in 10 of their last 14 at home. The Islanders have gone under in 14 of their last 20 on the road. However, they have gone over in 6 of their last 9. These 2 teams met their other meeting back in November at the Isles, and the Isles won 1 to nothing. Islanders are 13 and 9 on the road right now. Seattle 7 and 16 to the under at home. Islanders are 9 and 6 to the over as a favorite. This one's all over the map for me right here, but I think I like the Islanders on the road actually to win this game with this. Maybe this is the one that Seattle gets the losing streak. Remember, I'm rating Sorokin a little bit higher than his statistics of late. I'm kind of going with the eye test here a little bit. I kind of want to look at the goalies again to see, see what happens with the announcements here. Obviously, the Islanders on the road, but I would think should be Sorokin here. And I just think he's looked really, really good here of late. I think he's kind of the X factor, the wild card here that the Islanders need. I think he's playing some of the best of any of the goalies in the league right now. I'm going to take the Islanders here at the Kraken on Wednesday night. And Greg says he likes the Kraken here. All right, we got one more on the ice here on Wednesday night. It's going to be the Caps on the road taking on the Canucks. Big road favorite here for the Caps. The Canucks, oh man, Caps have lost 3 in a row. We're trying to can we find the spot here for the Canucks to win a game? They are on this massive losing streak right now. So many losses I've forgotten. I know they've lost 8 in a row at home, but gosh, I want to say this streak is up to 12, or maybe it's only 10, maybe it's 12, maybe it's 13 at this point. Let me see here. I gotta know. Oh. All right. Let me get this one. Anyways, enough whining about the Canucks. Are just 4 and 14 at home so far this season. Caps are 19 and 15 as a favorite here right now. But again, this Vancouver team on this losing streak right now, 11 in a row. Thank you. Coming here into this one, and yeah, the Caps a big favorite on the road here. Look, Vancouver is 20 and 18 as a puck line underdog here, but I think this is I just don't see any end in sight right now, and I don't know if this matchup's any good for them either here. Washington's won 13 of the last 16 meetings between the two teams, but Washington is just 2 and 8 in their last 10 on the road, but they've actually won 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Vancouver. 5 of those 6 meetings also have gone under. Vancouver's gone under in 5 of their last 7 games overall. I'm going to take the Caps here on the puck line in this one. Give me Washington to blast here against the Canucks on Wednesday night. I mean, this Canucks team, there just doesn't seem like they're going to be even close to turning around here right now. Here with this losing streak, just really dismal. Let's see what you got here in the chat, if anything. All right. Nope. Nothing. Okay, 4-2 Caps. Greg agrees. That's it. That's it for Night Moves, everybody. Thank you for joining me here on the show. Don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our best bets over there every day. At Tony's Picks, you can check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot, then click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Shout out to Stephen Duncan, up 16 1/3 units over the last week here. on the site and doubles up 10 units as well. So you see a good group of handicappers up there. I see one guy not up there. Oh, there he is. I'm up there, but I got to pick it up here 13 and 10 this week. So shout out all these guys are having a great week here right now. I better pick it up and pick up some winners here. So check me out over at tonyspicks.com and get involved with me for the action here on Wednesday. You see here 9 and 5 in my college basketball picks over the last uh, week here right now. And yeah, we did have a winner in the national championship football game on the over, and I got a couple of NFL winners, and I'll be ready to go this week as well. Why not join me for a week here with the weekly All Sports Pass? Get my plays for the next week for $149. These are my top plays. Remember, I'm on a lot of channels and a lot of shows, but this is my high-end boutique plays. These are the best of the best every day over at Tony's Picks. So want to ride with me here for this week? Comes out to about $20 a day. And look, you're going to get a handful of plays from me for sure. These are the ones you want to go the biggest on every day here at Tony's Picks. These are absolutely my best plays. When I look at a big card and decipher which games are the strongest, this is where they appear right here at tonyspicks.com. So, boy, a little intimidating to read my little sales pitch here. 35 years of handicapping experience. I'm only 57. I think I've actually been doing it longer than that. So join me over at tonyspicks.com. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all those premium pick pack. Oh, I don't think I was showing it there. There we go. Off all those premium pick packages here. There are the All Sports Pass there. Join me over at tonyspicks.com and we'll do some winning here this week. I do love this college basketball card tomorrow, so check me out over at Tony's Picks. There's also tennis continuing on here right now in the middle of the night, and as well there's no doubt there we go. All right. Also, Champions League action tomorrow is kind of a wild day today in the Champions League, and they're back at it tomorrow in the UEFA Champions League. I would have had a better day if I didn't whip on a couple of soccer games there yesterday. So I opened up my Champions League for the year, and I'm going to have to come back on it. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Catch you back here tomorrow at 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific with the action. And we're great to join you here for another great day. We'll have a nice card on Thursday, so make sure you're joining me here for Night Moves. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.
Final.